What's up in the loop? It's Hyde checking in from Walibi Belgium, a giant thrill park just outside of Brussels. So the interesting thing with Walibi Belgium as we're walking in here is it used to be a Six Flags park at one point. And not only did it used to be a Six Flags park, it used to be, well still is, if you had Roller Coaster Tycoon, you could play this park in Roller Coaster Tycoon. Back in the day, early 2000s, one of the expansion packs. And in the back area of the park is the newest coaster. Depending on when you're watching this, there's one under construction, but kondaa. Now this is an Intern mega coaster. I think it's around 160-ish feet, so not quite hyper, but it does a lot of stuff, including that awesome airtime hill to start things. Now a lot of the fun goes on behind the scenes, behind these trees over here. Some outward banking, all that jazz. Brand new, as in a year or two old now, area here, and this is looking awesome. Really cool theme to it. It's like fountain kind of thing. Oh, you can walk through the fountain too. Look at this. This is pretty cool. If you're seeing this video, this means I did not drop my phone into the water and I was able to finish recording the video, so that's a win. See the back part of kondaa over there, the cobra roll type element. All right, roundabout way to get to the station. That ride was awesome. Unfortunately, you can't see most of it, so I'm going to have to edit in some on-ride POV stuff right now. But killer first drop, airtime hill, unbelievable airtime. If you like Intern, you know exactly what you're getting with this. It's smooth, the transitions are perfect, airtime is ejector. What I even liked about it is towards the end, there was a lot of little bunny hills that if this was an RMC, I feel like they would try to kill you with your thighs, but he still gave a lot of airtime without being painful. So huge thumbs up to this ride. Really, really liked it. The park is essentially a giant rectangle with the entrance being over here. You see the SLC and the Vekoma, the kind of two Vekomas next to each other there. Pulsar in the middle of the lake, which is kind of a cool look. And that kondaa, where I'm filming this, back in the back of the park. Pulsar is a really great ride. I rode this for the first time at Six Flags over Texas and really enjoyed it. So I was excited to come here and ride the original one. So it felt a little tamer and not as wet, which is surprising given how hot it is, but it's a really fun ride. It looks simple, but a lot of fun. And I'm not usually a big water ride guy because this is a special moment right here. Your first thing is just a coaster going back and forth. Don't want to get the sun. So there you go. But now they flood that pond right there. It creates a giant splash. So there's no water in there until the ride goes back up on that last spike for the last time. And then you can kind of see the pumps working overtime here to now drain that area. But they fill that up so you get wet. Weirdly enough, they're not loading the front row. And they usually have two cars running. And they're only running one car. The park is home to a rare credit of a Vekoma wooden roller coaster. Here's a look at what the trains look like. It wasn't bad. it was more so bouncy than rough. Being in the front row probably helped a little bit, but it wasn't like beat you up rough. It was more just bounce you around. Really well themed flat ride here with the Indiana Jones theme playing. Look at the details on these cars here. Definitely one of the newer attractions in the park. If you've been watching my videos long enough, you know I make this comment every single park I go to where this is the case, but wouldn't be a theme park without a Wild West theme. It's like textbook definition. I think I talked about this in my Italy video last year. If there was a guidebook to how to build theme parks, chapter 1 has to be you must have a Western themed area. You don't always see those running. That's very interesting to actually see that one running. Nice little themed part of the park over here. Definitely has that corporate theme to it, as in it feels corporate. It feels the theme is light, let's say. Not bad, just light. But I do like a saloon. Star Saloon here in the middle. It looks like a couple beers on tap. That brings us to Exotic World. Oh, perfect timing with the car right there. Tiki Waka, kind of like a play off the Wild Mouse. This ride always got my attention because it has essentially the Wild Mouse cars, but it's like they pulled the Wild Mouse apart. Instead of having just all be on top of each other, they pulled it apart to kind of go all over. And I love how you just walk over this area and it's all across the Midway. Some pretty neat theming. Theming's pretty good over here. Oh, we're coming up on the dark ride. Brian, how do you say it's challenge of? Tutankhamon. Now this is it's a good try. This is a Sally dark ride. This is one of their like flagship dark rides. Kind of pulls out all the stops. You can see why. It's a pretty cool looking building. Animatronic in the pre-show. Can't understand what he's saying, but always fun to see an animatronic in the queue. And another requirement for a lot of parks, you gotta have some kind of mine train, the Calamity Mind. Let me show you what this ride looks like, because it's gonna look very familiar. This is a roller coaster, believe it or not. They took shuttle loop and put it inside a giant box. So that was rather interesting. It starts off with you pull forward. You don't shoot straight out of the station. You pull forward maybe about 100 feet, and you kind of do a rolling launch. When you're pulling forward, you're probably going 10, 15 miles per hour, and then it launches you maybe another 30 or so. You do go through vertical loop and up the back front spike, but then when you come backwards, you barely make it up this because you're almost stopping. So it's definitely kind of like the tamed down version, more a little family. Seems like it's themed to some local cartoon, but still very unique. Family coaster, Fun Pilot. Exactly what you would expect. I like the colors. The Florida State red and gold. Fun World section of the park. You have the Fun Pilot coaster. You have the Fun O'Clock restaurant. Bathrooms don't have any fun name to them. The India section of the park is home to the park's Boomerang coaster. You heard at Disney they pump in the smell to try to get you to go into the candy shops. Here they pump in the smell of barbecue, grilled dogs. Because we just ordered a sausage and they just pulled out of a little container in the back. Maybe they pre-grill them, but I think they're pumping in some smells here. It worked because it smells delicious. Next to the Vekoma wooden coaster is the Vekoma SLC Vampire. I can't tell you how it was because I didn't ride it. I'm at that point where I just can't do SLCs anymore, and apparently this one's pretty bad. But I do enjoy, normally you have to like walk around the SLCs. I don't think I've ever been on an SLC. I've been on a lot of them. And usually I try to forget them, where you can actually walk in the middle. So this is kind of cool. Like the entrance here is right under the first drop into the signature element. So I have to find something good to say about this ride. It's that you can walk in the middle here and get some unique views. The park does just have that very kind of Six Flagsy feel to it. Kind of nondescript food halls in most areas. A little bit of theming here and there, some better than others. And not a ton of shade. I mean, this is relative to some of the other parks in Europe, a newer park. So maybe it'll grow in over time. I haven't made it at Ibiza yet, but I made it to Walibi. This like sand bar hangout area here. It looks like they can do quite some fun activities with the stage. I don't know when or if this will be open today, so I'll show you the menu now. They have a couple cocktails, and then they have some tapas. Because nothing. Maybe there's a big thing in Ibiza. If you've been to Ibiza, let me know in the comments. But when I think of Ibiza, I'm not thinking onion rings or hummus. Nachos do sound good though. We did get the Speedy Pass. Around 50 euros, I believe. There's a couple different varieties that allow you, depending, some exclude some of the newer rides. Some of them only allow one time, then there's an unlimited one. We got the one that allows us to go on every ride at least once. And it came in handy. Some operations were better than others. Some Kondaa and Pulsar only running one out of their two cars. So lines got backed up a little bit. We were able to walk around. And a pro tip too is they always let the Speedy people pick their seats first. So if you want to sit in the front or the back or whatever, Speedy Pass allows you to pick whatever you want to ride. Worth noting, a lot of the rides here do have single riders. So that's a great alternative if you don't want to spend for the skip the line pass. Park has a log flume that has multiple drops, including this double down right there. Has some indoor sections. You can see it goes through this like tube, like hamster tube looking thing. Pretty involved log flume ride. And that will wrap up Walibi Belgium. This park definitely is one that's headed in the right direction. And it does feel a little bit more amusement parky than some of the big stays in Europe that are on the theme park side, the Eftelings, the Fantasia lands, but that's okay because they're adding a lot of cool stuff. You know, one of these being Pulsar's just, maybe about 10 years old or less. And then you have Kondaa they added. They're adding a new coaster for 2025, what appears to be a Gerslau or a family coaster. So they just keep adding more and more good stuff.
talk about how easy it is to travel to Walibi Belgium. Now, considering the park's in Belgium, but within an hour or so of Germany, France, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, English is kind of the universal language here. Everyone seemed to speak it. All signs were in English, except for 1 or 2 pre-shows. Location, very easy to get to. Short drive or taxi from the Brussels airport. And there's also a train stop about 100 meters from the park. There's free Wi-Fi in select areas of the park, and cell phone reception was very strong. And money-wise, everything took credit cards. No need to worry about bringing any cash.
So overall, we spent about 4 hours here. Definitely having the speedy pass helped. Didn't have to wait for anything. Everything had about a 30-minute or so, 45-minute or so wait. We are here in the last week of August. So I guess that's probably, kids are not back in school, so that's probably typical for a summer. So give yourself definitely at least a half day here. A little bit more if you want to re-ride a couple things a bunch of times or want to enjoy a lot of the fly rides. Thanks for watching. If you are interested in the other Walibi Park, Walibi Holland, we also have videos of that on the channel, so check that out. Lounge chairs under the trees. Cedar Fair would charge money for that and call it a VIP lounge.